What is up, psychos? I'm IAnthonyD. Welcome back to another discussion video. Today we will be talking more about Gun Media's Nets project.
Dr. Gordon, I want to play a game.
Alrighty, welcome back. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Gun Media's Nets video game that they are working on. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, set to all, so you don't miss out on more gameplays, updates, and breakdowns on your favorite horror games. Now, we've already broke this down a little bit and had a discussion where we talked about the possibility of Gun Media's Nets project being a Halloween game. Now, as always, I think it's important to start with the confirmed facts that we have today as I'm recording this video. There's not a lot, so let's get through these quickly. First things first, West has confirmed that Gun Media is working on another horror multiplayer game. The reason I bring this one up is because we actually don't have confirmation that the next game will be a horror multiplayer featuring the asymmetrical format. This is interesting because I think a lot of people have the idea that they are going to take the Friday 13th format and slap it over a new horror IP. Until we have confirmation that it is an asymmetrical game, I think we should keep our mind open on the possibilities of how this game could be. And then next, we know that Gun is working on motion capture for the game. With that said, we do have a clip of Kane Hodder confirming that he is working on another horror licensed game. Now, very important, I do want to point out, it is not confirmed that these two things are linked. There is a very real possibility that Gun is working on a completely different game than what Kane is talking about in that clip. The confirmation of Kane working with Gun completely changes the conversation. My reasoning for that is because you hire Kane Hodder for your motion capture for your video game for a few reasons. He has a very familiar and distinct range of movement. You can tell Kane Hodder by his movement. If Kane is not linked to the project, I think the horror IPs such as Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street pop up higher on the list. Now, if we say that Kane is working with Gun and what he said in that clip is about the Gun Media project, then the conversation gets interesting. Because with Kane on board for your motion capture, I think there's really only 3 horror franchises that are more realistic than others. So let's break each one of those down so I can give my opinions on why I think it's likely it could be that franchise. Now, Halloween the game, we've talked about this in our previous video, so we can skim through this one really quickly. Obviously, it's one of the biggest, most successful horror franchises that are active right now. Making a game is a no-brainer. Yet 2 movies on the way, so the hype is there and the content is fresh. As well as others have pointed out, Kane has stated that he would like to play Michael Myers. Now, our second choice is an interesting one. I've seen a few people bring this up, and that's Hatchet the game. In my opinion, I think Hatchet is one of those horror franchises that works amazing for a horror asymmetrical game. The idea of the swamp and having to escape it before Victor Crowley gets to you, the gory kills that you can have with that franchise. We've even seen some of them in Friday 13th the game, so we know that's a real possibility. And then obviously Kane Hodder starred in the movie, so he would work well for the motion capture in the game. Third on the list, in my opinion, the most likely to be Gun's Nets project, if we're saying that the Kane clip and Gun Media's project is linked together, that for me is going to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Kane has played Leatherface as a stunt double before, so the history is there. A new movie is on the way, so the hype and new content is there. And more importantly, something I don't see a lot of people bringing up, when you're talking about the video game world and horror IPs, Leatherface has been the most active. Recently, Leatherface just got another cosmetic for Dead by Daylight, as well as been put in Call of Duty Warzone. So when you're talking about the video game world and horror IPs, Leatherface is making moves. That means people in charge of Leatherface's rights at least understand the video game world a little bit and have recently worked with developers. And I personally think that's huge. As always, I want to know what you guys think down below. Comment your thoughts and opinion. Let's have a discussion. I love talking about these things. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slash that like button. If you like what I do here and you want to support, become a member for as low as $1 a month. Join Slasher Game to access exclusive perks and videos. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications set to all so you don't miss out on more gameplays, updates, and breakdowns on your favorite horror games. That's all I have for you. Till then, don't do drugs, don't have sex, and oh yeah, don't die.